Hey guys, my name is Luke O'Connell and today we're going to be taking a look at an animal which is the forefront of a debate commonly discussed in paleontology, and this is an animal that goes by the name of STYGIMOLOCH, a late Cretaceous herbivorous dinosaur from North America, which name translates literally to demon of the river Styx. STYGIMOLOCH was a small dinosaur in the same family as Pachycephalosaurus, the dome-headed dinosaurs. These dome-headed herbivorous dinosaurs seem to have a very wide range during the Cretaceous period, with fossils being discovered on different continents. STYGIMOLOCH is truly distinguishable by the large horns jutting out of the back of its skull, and a relatively flat head for a dome-headed dinosaur. It has long been speculated that Pachycephalosaurs used their domed skulls to butt heads with each other, perhaps in territorial disputes. However, this theory has come under scrutiny in recent years. Headbutting puts a lot of stress on animals' skulls, and Pachycephalosaur skulls, contrary to popular belief, were not very well designed at absorbing the kind of stress that would be involved with these disputes. Quite a few scientists now believe that if these animals were to butt heads with each other, it would perhaps result in grievous injury for either party. So other theories have arisen as to what the dome heads were for. Perhaps they were used as some sort of display feature, or perhaps they were actually used in physical combat, just in a different manner. One theory which has been put forward is that instead of crashing their heads together, these animals would have lined up side by side and started hitting each other's flanks with their heads. Perhaps it's a mixture of both these theories. The two animals would have sized each other up before combat. This could have resulted in the STYGIMOLOCH with the larger horns and the larger head winning without any need for violence, with the opponent backing down. This is a practice commonly seen in modern day animals. However, what often happens is that if two animals are evenly matched, it'll often result in a violent conflict. And this is perhaps where the Pachycephalosaurs, such as STYGIMOLOCH, would have started hitting each other's flanks. This kind of combat seems ideally suited to an animal like STYGIMOLOCH, as their long horns would certainly have been capable of causing some serious damage over a prolonged conflict, so perhaps the horns were an incentive to keep these battles short. However, debate has arisen as to how unique STYGIMOLOCH actually may have been. Some paleontologists believe that STYGIMOLOCH is simply a juvenile Pachycephalosaurus, as they are found in the same place and the same time period. One paleontologist behind this theory is Jack Horner. Now, one big difference between the two animals, bar size, with Pachycephalosaurus being much larger than STYGIMOLOCH, is the fact that Pachycephalosaurus seems to be lacking any sort of major horns on the back of its skull. There has been evidence found in the minimal fossils of STYGIMOLOCH that suggests that the horns on the back of its skull were actually losing their keratinous coat over time. This perhaps would have led to the horns growing smaller and smaller, and if Pachycephalosaurus does indeed turn out to be a fully grown STYGIMOLOCH, this would explain why the horns are absent. He has also suggested that another North American cousin of STYGIMOLOCH, called Dracorex, is actually also a juvenile version of a Pachycephalosaurus, with the three different animals simply being growth stages of the same animal. A dinosaur's age is determined in a fashion that is very similar to aging a tree, and that in the bones of the dinosaurs you can actually find rings, and these rings actually are a good indicator as to how old the animal was when it died. And it has actually been found that the fossils of STYGIMOLOCH and Dracorex were actually juveniles when they died. However, this does not necessarily mean that they were juvenile Pachycephalosaurus. Other paleontologists argue that they were simply juveniles of their own species, and that is also very much possible. Take a look at hadrosaurs, the duck-billed dinosaurs. Indeed, in the past, multiple hadrosaurs have been lumped as the same species, but different sexes. But then, later on in time, it's been discovered that these animals, which looked different but were thought to be of the same species, were actually completely different species. Which shows that many of these animals could live in the same time and place and would look very similar, however would definitely be separate species from each other. And this could also be the case with the Pachycephalosaurids. And to this day, the debate on the validity of STYGIMOLOCH is still up in the air. We're still not quite sure as to what classification this animal falls into. Hopefully down the line, as more discoveries are made, answers to these questions will come to light, and the debate on the validity of Stygimoloch as a species will be laid to rest. For now, what we have is a poster child, essentially, for the idea that tough herbivores can defend themselves. And it is an utterly fascinating little animal with a lot of personality, and it certainly has garnered a great following of paleontology fans across the world. And if the attitude of this animal is anyway similar to how it looks, then it certainly would have been a plucky and tough little dinosaur. But that is all we know for now. Feel free to let me know if there's any topics you'd like me to cover in the future, or any animals you'd like me to make a video on. But for now, that is all, and thank you very much for watching.